Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Stephanie Violett before the 2017 UTMB. How are you, Steph?
I'm great.
How long have you been here in Chamonix?
I've been here about a month.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's been a great month. Yeah, life is good.
2 years ago you were at UTMB. Did you have the same sort of lead up to it?
Definitely not. I went into 2015 UTMB with a bum Achilles and really underprepared. So this year I'm feeling good.
You still suffered to 8th place, but
I did, yeah.
Was that the race that made you decide to get surgery finally?
That was the trigger race, yeah. And I mean, I still had an okay race, but it was not enjoyable. Every step hurt.
You've had quite a transition from that time and having the surgery. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rocky road, I'm not gonna lie. Just with, the whole year I had off, and then this year a little bit up and down with results, but I'm just thrilled to be healthy. And I mean, I feel really good right now, so you can't really ask for more.
Yeah. You had a pretty good training period in the spring, and then Western States wasn't the race you were wanting.
No,
what happened in Western States?
That's not the race anyone wants. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what went wrong. It was just one of those days where things didn't line up. It definitely wasn't a reflection of my fitness, I don't think. I just fell apart really early. And I mean, you've seen me suffer through races before, so I'm not a quitter. I stuck it out, but I would like to do things a little bit better this time around, make it around the mountain with a few less tears.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a good reminder that even though I've done a few hundreds now, it doesn't mean that I'm by any means an expert. And so really preparing beforehand, just with my crew and with my nutrition, is important.
Is that just planning for the good contingencies, or is it also preparing that things still might go a little sideways?
A, B, and C plans. Yeah. And especially for this race, going through the night, it comes really early, and that has been a struggle for me, particularly with fueling. So I'm really thinking through, like, okay, what am I going to do, and actually have a plan, not just like, oh, I'll do something.
So what is the plan? How have you changed it from your normal standard?
So I think normally what happens to me during the night is I just forget to eat. I mean, you're thinking about so many other things, like trying not to fall, and I have poles, so anything that makes it more difficult to fuel is gonna make you maybe do it a little less. So I have a timer on my watch that's going to beep and remind me to eat. So that's going to be one thing. And then just mixing it up in terms of the types of food. So since it's a really long day, I need more real food. So I have, this sounds weird, but I'm gonna take cheese. I really like cheese when I'm racing or when I'm running in the Alps, and it seems to sit really well for me. So I'm gonna do my normal Cliff products, bars, blocks, gels, but interspersed with sandwiches, cheese, pasta, sausage, that kind of stuff. And it sounds, maybe not what you would want in a running race, but I find a lot of the hiking is so much slower intensity that you actually can digest that food.
So on the cheese front, what's floating your boat here?
Let me tell you, I've had a month of trying different types of cheeses. I haven't found one I don't like. I'm really a fan of the regional varietals, if they call them varietals, and probably more of a hard cheese, just so it doesn't get all squishy.
So you actually take some of the trail. It's not like you're just going to get in the aid station and have some cheese. You're going to little Ziploc baggies of...
Yeah.
Do you think can you tolerate them on climbs, or do you time them in certain sections, or can you just eat them anytime? During
training, I've been able to eat them at any time. Probably in the race, it'll be a little more particular. I could see myself doing more of the gels and blocks, when I'm running faster, and then when I'm hiking uphill, that's a time I think I'll be able to eat more of the cheese.
Now, in the past, a lot of people have come to Chamonix, especially Americans have come to Chamonix, and just train super hard until a couple days before the race. Have you been able to take some downtime while you've been here?
Yes. Well, I mean, I got here early enough that I was able to get all of that out of my system. So I did some really big training days. That would have been a bad idea if I got here last weekend. So I was fortunate on that front. Right now, I'm feeling pretty fit, and my legs, they could use a few days off. So it actually is feeling good to just sit and kind of stay in my apartment away from all the excitement. So I feel okay with, I don't have too much FOMO.
Good.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of that in your system.
Yeah.
Now, is it fun to, I mean, we're over here in Europe, but I mean, there's you, there's Magda, there's Casey, and a whole bunch of others. Like, does it almost feel familiar in that sense?
It does. I'm really excited to see them. I haven't connected with a lot of the American runners yet because they're just getting here, but Rory's been here for a few days. We've done some good adventures. And Fernanda, another North Face athlete, we've done some runs. We've done some just fun stuff too. Like we had a dinner at her house. Rory and I went berry picking, just fun stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to have everyone come to Chamonix and be able to do vacation-like stuff together.
Yeah. Are you doing that today?
Yeah, I'm meeting Rory and we're gonna go for a little hike and then go ice our legs in the creek. It's not super warm today, so I'm sure it might be a brief visit to the water.
What are you looking forward to most about this weekend?
I'm not super nervous, which is unlike me. Usually I'm a little anxious before a race. I'm looking forward to a long day in the mountains. And I feel like I've been here long enough that I feel comfortable in the mountains. Like I've got my mountain legs back, and going across the technical terrain feels really familiar to me. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to test myself in some of the ways that maybe I haven't done well in the past, going through the middle of the night and going up really steep climbs. And when I first got here, those were my two goals: get better at running in the dark.
And have you been training on that?
Well, so to meet those two goals, I did a sky race in Courmayeur. So there was two races. One was Thursday night at 9 p.m., a vertical K. So perfect, right? Practice going up really steep hills in the dark. And it was insane. It was great. And then 2 days later, they had a vertical 2K in Courmayeur. So I did both of those races. And so I kind of checked the boxes of night running and climbing. So
there you go.
Yeah, it was great. It was eye-opening.
And how about foul weather? How do you deal? Are you pretty good with that? Because was 2 years ago, was it a white?
It was hot 2 years ago. So I wouldn't say I love it, but I'm really good with adversity. So, I mean, if it snows, I know how to run in the snow. I was a cross-country skier, so that's fine. If it rains, I kind of just have the attitude that we all have to run through it. I've got a warm jacket, so I'll be okay. I would love for some sun. If it's raining the whole time, that's not really fun. But either way, I'm going to be excited and I'll make the best of it.
Nice. Well, best of luck out there, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Enjoy.